Joining us from Boston, Fox News military analyst David Hunt, and here in the studio, Fox News strategic analyst Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters. First with you. I know you've said on this program and others that you believe there is a cover-up, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And
all right,
I
so
am
wait,
not a conspiracy theorist guy. It's evident.
All right. So you believe that the Obama administration didn't tell the truth to the world, not just to the American people, on purpose for political reasons. That's what you believe.
I believe that President Obama lied to the American people. Himself. Secretary Clinton lied to Congress. Susan Rice lied to the UN. Jay Carney lied to the media. And the mainstream establishment media have protected this administration right down the line, and they will protect Hillary.
Those are very serious charges, impeachable charges, if proven. How likely are we to get proof this week or going onward about what you believe?
You know, analytically speaking, the proof was there from the start if you want to see it. A court of law would have convicted on this amount of evidence. On Wednesday, it sounds like we're going to get smoking gun testimony. But, Bill, really, the point here to me is how much a president can get away with if the media...
But it has to be, look, we all know the media is sympathetic to Barack Obama. We all know they nurture him. They root for him. And they even promote his policies. That is beyond a reasonable doubt. But in order for any president, Richard Nixon, Bill Clinton, whoever it may be, you've got to have evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. And here, number one, do you agree with me that most people don't even care about the story right now? They're not engaged.
Yeah, and that's a victory for the administration.
Okay, but they know that, all right? And number two, you've got to have somebody saying, look, I told Hillary Clinton that it was a terror attack because remember, we haven't arrested the terrorists. Nobody's been arrested. You can't say we got Mohammed over here and he's an al-Qaeda guy because we haven't arrested anybody.
No, but based on the preliminary word about what we're going to hear Wednesday in the testimony, the state counterterrorism chief and his people were cut out of the loop immediately.
But they denied the State Department. As soon as that was said today, that was denied by the State Department.
Okay, and you've got the number 2 man in Libya saying he knew and said from the beginning it was a terrorist attack. I mean, Bill, it gets to the point where how much evidence does it take?
It takes very strong statements like you made. That's what it's going to take on Wednesday. If the Republicans, because you figure on the committee, the Democrats are going to try to cover for their party, right? Figure that's going to happen. If the Republicans start to make speeches and all of that and don't really zero in on tell me what happened, then the American people are going, you know, I've had enough of this. All right, Colonel, let's go over to you, Colonel Hunt in Boston. We had action over the weekend. Israelis bombed Syrian positions because the Israelis say, that Iran is giving weapons, missiles to the Syrian government, to Bashir, okay? Number one, do you believe that? And number two, is there going to be any unintended consequence of this bomb?
Yeah, I believe it. I think the CIA's actually got a couple of these missiles. It's actually, you know, we've been tracing them from how they were built to where they've been going to who they wind up with, partially with Hezbollah. And I think Israel had the right to defend themselves with our help, with some satellite help, and they made 2 attacks, as we know, this weekend. And yes, anytime Israel does an attack, there are consequences to us. But I think we accepted that, as did Israel, and it was a necessary thing to have happened.
All right, but it's been very quiet today. There haven't been any saber rattling or much saber rattling by the Syrian government, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Palestinian Authority, and it's been kind of really eerily quiet over there. Do you know why?
There's a couple reasons. One, we've been playing with their electronics, with their ability to communicate. We've been helping in that regard, but they got caught. Israel got an excellent airstrike on their Republican Guard facility that actually makes these. There were 2 very accurate strikes, and any more attention on this causes more trouble to the Assad regime, which is already in up to their earlobes, and we're still waiting to see what the U.S. will do in conjunction with or in addition to what Israel's already done.
All right, so you think it's not in the best interest of Bashir Assad to make a big deal out of this at this time because it just raises ire toward him. But you firmly believe that Iran are giving missiles to the Syrian government, right?
Yeah, I believe it. More importantly, the Israeli government believes it and the U.S. government believes it.
Right. Do you believe it, Colonel?
I think it's incontrovertible. The evidence is there. And Israel is merely acting in self-defense, legitimate self-defense.
Yeah, they don't want missiles on their doorstep and give it to Hezbollah. I mean, it's crazy. All right, so now we have this kind of almost perfect storm of Arab international intrigue. How about that? Arab international intrigue, all right? You got the Benghazi hearings. You got Israel pounding Syria from the air, blowing Iranian missiles up. And at the end of this week, I think that something's going to have to happen.
Yeah, well, I hope that what happens is not President Obama leaping belatedly into the Syrian war, because the golden rule applies here. If you don't understand a fight, don't step into the middle of it. And this administration has no clue what's really going on.
Yeah, if he gets in the middle of it, but you know what Bill Clinton did when he got in trouble with Monica Lewinsky, he started to bomb the whole thing to divert attention and the wag the dog theory. But we're not going to speculate on that. All we're going to do is report the facts. Gentlemen, thanks very much. We appreciate it. A couple of footnotes.